Right, good evening, chaps. Sorry that I couldn't get in for 8 o'clock to do the live video analysis there, but it's now 9:35 in the UK here, 21:35. The market should be open in about 25 minutes, so I'm going to scan as quick as possible, and I want to look at some trades set up by one of the Discord group members, and we'll go into that in a bit. First of all, let's just have a quick recap. Very difficult trading, challenging, I should say, last week. Caught some trades, took some quite a few losses, and caught one winner in the end, which was this one. And I closed the trade before the markets closed around about this position, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So let's go and bring up. Let's have a look at all the euro pairs. I'm going to kind of do the euro pairs like this. Start with the euro dollar though. Right, so top down analysis. I'm just going to scan. We're definitely in an uptrend. The only thing I'm considering is this wick from, is it going to work on here? It's not going to show. Let me just as a background for a moment. Yeah, this wiki area that we can see right here is a monthly candle. It hasn't closed yet. We've got 1 day to trade, which is when the market's open and all Monday. So this could still push up and be a close higher. Now, the chances of that is getting extremely low. There's a lot of distance to do for this to be a monthly bullish candle without some kind of rejection from this drop base rally area at the moment, which is, let's have a look. Just want to see if it is actually at a fresh and original level. Barely original, but it is a drop base drop supply level, and price has kind of reacted, but it could still keep going up and working its way through. The big picture though, we have got this break of this trend line, so we could be starting to roll back over again. It's possible. Okay, we're below that major trend line there. Let's drill down to some smaller time frames, the weekly, and have a little look what we got going on here. That's the big momentum move to the upside, but we've got another trend line also from here to here. So these are both A, B, and an E touch right here, and this is an A, B, and an E touch down here, because the basically the pattern here changed like a range, an upward range motion. And if I drill down to the daily now, because what I'm looking for is any fresh and original levels that coincide with these A, B, E areas. So, and these are for my set and forgets. So now we've got these trend lines drawn pretty accurately, or as close to. So right here, if we look at where price is, if price drops somewhere touching that trend line to the left, I'm looking for some kind of 60-minute or 240-minute fresh and original level. There is no original level. There's fresh but not original. Let me go to the 60, and it's just in that area. There's nothing original there except, no, that's not even original, this level, because it's a retest of that. So there's no set and forget here that I can see. But if I come down and have a look, because I'm looking at the way price is moving down, so over the next week or so, roughly in this area, I'll need to look to the left and see what we got. Now that is a rally-based rally, but it's not original level, and I'm always using the lower time frames for this. Let me zoom out, it'll be better for a minute. This gives me a better perspective. Sometimes I can have a little look as price drops to this sort of area. It doesn't look like there's anything that is original. No, not really. Everything is a reaction. Maybe this area, I'm just going to look at this right here and zoom in. I want to see where that what's going on right there on a 60-minute. which is this level here. So we have got an original level right here. This little drop base rally is an original area. It's also fresh because we've got this rally, base, rally, base, rally, and if we was to drill down a bit, we can see price has barely touched it. So I'd call this a fresh and original level, especially on the higher time frames. So this particular area here, if this aligns with my trend line, it's not going to align with this trend line. So what I would wait here is if price turns on the basically breaks this downward movement here, and we start to turn at this trend line and push up, then I've got a confirmation trade to start going long again with the trend. But until that happens, if price drops down and we see this little level here that we can see the dotted blue lines, if I enlarge that, and it aligns with this ABE, that'll be a set and forget, but I have to give it a little bit more time, because if I put a set and forget on there, price might drop and come all the way down to here, bounce, and then continue lower. The other scenario is if the monthly does close like this, we could be starting to roll over. It could be a rejection, like I said, from here, and we could end up with a range here for weeks, months. I don't really know where the market's going to go. And if we look at the weekly, we've got a rally, base, rally. I'm just going to remove this line out the way and these lines. It's current price at the moment. So we've got this rally, base, rally. So trend demand could still hold. But what I don't like about this is a monthly wick, so it's not a high probability demand level. And if we look at all the demand here, rally, base, then we sort of based a bit, rallied, come in, we touched, was respected. There is a lot of rally, base, rally in here that price just went through. This is the cleanest rally, base, rally. I do like this. Price could fake out to here and continue higher, but it's looking like it's going to be a range unless this week, literally on the Monday, we have a strong push up. So that's what I'm going to look at now. Is there still any potential momentum? Now, this is the level. Again, we'll draw this level in. I took a trade, and this might well be working to push this up at extreme rate of knots on Monday. The probability of this pushing and closing up here in one day is kind of 50-50 really. Look, we've got plenty of time. If we have 240-minute candles all the way up, it could reach these highs and close, which will give a pretty bullish monthly candle. And I'll show you that now with another line. So if price comes up, it hits this trend line and bounces here and breaks it, or just hovers there around that sort of area, we come out to the monthly now. That's where the candle will close, above these highs. So it's a bullish candle. It's just had a bit of a rejection from here, which means then next month we could possibly look for longs. So these levels down here be quite nice because we're in a weekly area. Price might turn earlier on the 240, so then we'll go with the 240 minute. Now I haven't spoke or made a video yet about the timing of the candle and also the high time frame candle, low time frame structure, because each candle that you see, as a rule of thumb, if you've got a red bearish candle, it's normally 240-minute trend. Okay, if you've got green bullish, it's normally 240-minute trend. If it's if it's a weekly, weekly 240, monthly, daily 60. They can vary depending on volatility. So sometimes you've got like a weekly and a 60 because of strong movement. So I'm expecting a lower time frame move up from this weekly area or this daily area / where this 240-minute level is. And these trend lines have moved because we've got this trend line on the daily. And you can see exactly where that level is, where I was buying, an A, B, E, and this is a 240-minute fresh and original. And the reason why, if I put some lines on here, which is the lowest point here, all these basing candles were underneath that. And if I go below it and look to the left, it's a clean candle. So that's why I had a limit order in the Discord group there, about 50% of that level. So it was 50%, and I've made I don't know, 3 or 4 to 1 out of that already, and it's closed because of near the end of the month. So what am I expecting now? Again, let me draw this upper line in, and I'm just going to refresh this market because it's not open. So I'm expecting price to break this, but this is an ABE, A, B, and if it rallies up, E. So 240, I'm going to come down to a 15-minute, but slowly looking through the time frames to see if there is a fresh and original level in this area. So we get that even smaller, right? Okay, it's a 15-minute chart. So it's an ABE, but it's going against that big picture uptrend, okay? But we could be rejected. So price rallies into this area. I need to look to the left. So if we're coming up into this kind of area here, let's move this one up. So imagine price grinds or rallies fast somewhere in this area on the 200 on the 15-minute. I'm looking for a drop base, drop supply. The only one I can see that's fresh and original is at that extreme, which is outside of the trend line. So could potentially be a bit of a wick fake out there, could, but I'm not going to trade it. It's outside of my parameters, the ABE. Normally we start getting above here, it could come up, react, and then continue higher. So there's nothing there for me to put a set and forget to short. So it's not a high probability set and forget area on that 240. So I'm hoping price continues rally, probably going to react from these highs, and then just a small reaction showing that there's bullish momentum, and then price break. So I'm looking at this as a hurdle, a break. So now let's have a look what I'm expecting when the market's open. We have got this bit of a rally, base rally on the 60-minute going on here, which will be a bit of a drop base rally on other time frames, but that is a fresh or original level. One moment, I need to change the background colors need changing. For example, I'm not going to do this on every chart, but on this one I just need to put the background as the background as white and the foreground as black, something like that. In fact, I've done that wrong. Let's do it the other way around. Black and white, and then we might see if I fill this back in the rectangle properties, we may see, yeah, that's better. So in this area, I'm looking for a strong push up now. Let's go down to a 30 or even a 15. So I spoke in a Discord group, and I'll answer this question for Bry in here. Not this one, sorry, not that one, this one here. Because he was looking at the, when I was in this trade, he was looking at the pound dollar and looking at a level which was at a flip zone, but the momentum was a rally base, rally base, rally base, rally. Wanted to go with that momentum if I would have been trading, but I was already in it. And if you look at these trend line breaks like this, it's very close to that area, but this is the one that created the push up. But there's so many of them, you need to have some kind of confirmation which level's going to work. And again, in the Discord group, if you were to come into here, and I'll open up the Discord group. We was talking about this with Bry. Because this is a very good eye opener. Bry, still waiting for a 15-minute confirmation. What was you looking at here, Bry? Let's just see if we can. I don't know if we can increase this. Can't really increase this, enlarge this one in here. But this is the euro dollar monthly. This wasn't the one you're looking at. It was the pound, wasn't it? Hold on, chaps. You posted that, so it must be a bit lower. So I put, as the day's getting on, I'm managing below every 50-minute demand that forms. This was that level. that we're talking. This would be a great 15-minute level to enter than the pound dollar. Nice clean 15-minute earning 240-minute candle creation. So basically it was a timing rule. The 240-minute candle opened and it was very early in the first hour, so if there's going to be a strong reaction, it's going to be good. And he said, even this is a rally-based rally, and I was putting yes, because this is not a drop, because there's no drop-based rally formed yet. Basically, when we look at the momentum, I'll talk about this in a minute, we've not created the first pivot swing low to draw a trend line. So price can keep rallying up from any one of these levels. And I would have used the 1 minute setup. So what I was looking at is, if you're looking at this 15-minute level right here, I want to be looking for a 1 minute trend line break. That would have created the demand because we removed supply. There was also a demand level here that didn't work, but this is basically the triple bottom, and I'll go into that on another. Did I post a picture here? No. Right, I'm going to move into that on the video here. I'm going to show you in this area what I was looking at, or what I would have been looking at if I was going to trade this. Zoom right out. So this area right here was the momentum. That was the market structure that was moving down. I believe it was that one into this level here. I'm going to come out to the 15 and have a little look at that. Make sure I got that right. Yeah. So that level here, this is a 15-minute chart. And that rally base rally that we come out, I'm looking down, and I'll put a red line there so you understand the area that I'm looking at. When price come down, what was that, 5 minute or 1 minute structure? What it was a 1 minute structure. So as you see, price where that line is, come down, 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 removed, because this is how, it's just a rinse and repeat how it all works. Removed this supply, closed above it, created the demand here. So an entry here, stop below this level, would have been a safe bet as well, below the whole level. When price was to come back, that would be a buy. But if you waited to close outside of the trend line, it's a bit more confirmation because that's the trend line, then it come back again into that area. So that would have been a buy. And if we go to what removed that area, is there anything on this one? Yeah, let's have a look here. We've also got this break right here of that pattern. That's what removed it. And we've also got rally-based rallies. But basically, yeah, we're not coming back into that. There's another one I'll show you in a minute where we come back. Basically, these are super strong areas now. So if price comes back into here, I'm expecting to possibly continue rallying higher from this area because of the momentum. So if we look at the 15-minute again, so where we are, this is the new level, and we've not, since that 1 minute in that area that broke from here has not been touched. It could be actually a good place to start to look to enter trades back down here with a stop below, and then see if market rallies really strongly. If it does not and I'm stopped out, I'm probably just going to leave this one alone. I'm not going to start trading these lower levels or even waiting for 60 minutes to turn because the monthly candle is about to close. And if price holds down in this area, then there's a lot of monthly bearish pressure. Okay, we need to find a correct setup. We don't want to just be guessing where it's going. So by looking at the monthly candle and right the last day, if it hits here, I'm expecting a super strong reaction to the upside. Okay, super strong reaction and holding at this area. And then potentially breaking that. So trade management, and I've got multiple trade management rules, but that's where I would be managing quite aggressively, just to see what happens for that monthly close. So recap, monthly candle, looking for big reaction, and we're going to go from this 15-minute drop base rally, and it's coming down. If you look at it, it's a bit of a flag pattern that's developed right here, which shows there's a lot of buying pressure. So if it comes into here and breaks above this, then it looks like game on, because it's a breakout pattern, momentum style trade to the upside. So I'm looking at buying here. So if market gaps down into here, I'll watch on a 1 minute chart for confirmation entry, stop below. If I'm stopped out, I'll leave it alone. The only nearest thing I can do is if price breaks above here without me being in, for a pullback to go long. That's pretty much a long explanation on the euro dollar. Let's have a quick look at the euro yen. I'll speed things up now because that was a very detailed explanation, and why I still want to look for longs. That's all it is. I'm not going to go against that for shorts. That might be rolling over. We have to look at that next week, the week after. We've got a base rally momentum area right here. That price may be reacting from that wick already, but if it drops deeper next month, I'll be looking for longs from that area once the daily rolls over. Okay, so the daily will come down or 240 and start giving me setups in the monthly. Okay, it doesn't matter what the time frames are, whether you're looking at a monthly or 1 minute, the rules are the same. And Brian, you just need to draw your trend lines, which we'll do on your chart, a little bit more accurate. Don't do the channels and things. Conventional technical analysis still works, everything else, but you need to do it my way to see what I see. I'm not saying it doesn't work your way, you just need to do it my way. Let's have a look at this weekly then. So we've got this big monthly level, and we've got this base rally on the weekly inside the monthly. So price might turn there. I'll just be watching the 240 or whatever structure comes down, you know, on a lower time frame, a break, and that's where I'll be looking to buy in that area. So we know the target is going to be somewhat here. And the weekly, yeah, that's just our spreading that. So that's going to be the weekly / monthly solid body candles. Very nice. Maybe it's already rolling over on the 240. I've just jumped straight down. We have got this kind of steep trend line, and that rejection that's showing potentially on the monthly or the weekly. So strong moves down into this area for the next month is possibly going to create that monthly wick. Okay, so strong moves down, strong moves out. We need to wait for the structure that shows that in the Discord group. So that's it, just looking to buy us down there. There's not much else to say. There's no set and forgets. It's not an ABE. Quick look at the Euro New Zealand. And I will probably do this in a more detailed pace in the Discord group. Just see where that goes. Don't worry about that one for the moment. And I like to keep the charts nice and clean. And we've had this bounce already, but we've not made a new high. So it's not really anything that I need to trade on this. So Euro pound. Let's have a look at the Euro pound. Still very range bound, scrappy, not very clear. The nearest sort of information that I can see was that break of that trend line plus the break of this trend line, very similar areas. And what caused the break? This drop base drop. It's kind of like a drop base drop, fresh or original at the time, not fresh no more because we've had a reaction, and price needs to come down towards this target, which it's pretty much been there. So that trade's kind of over with. The only one that looks is potentially going long. And very, very unclean, but all this area. So if this is where I'll be looking to go long because we've reached target, I mean, it might still want to drop a bit lower because the target's slightly lower. But if we're going to go long, I need to look at what structure is changing on the lower time frames. So let's have a look at the 60. That's that big trend line, and the trend line started changing from this point down, from here, started changing. So it's like a channel kind of trend line there. I'm going to get rid of that inner one. If we break above here and taking out supply, and this is the area that needs to be taken out, because we've not made any drop base drop supply. This almost was a bit of a drop base drop, but it's really here, so we need to close above that level, and then I'll start looking for pullbacks to go long. That's how the euro pound would be played, but it's not the best one. I don't even know if I'll trade it. Euro CAD, let's have a look at the euro CAD. Very nice. So that's a level of rally, base rally, momentum, very similar to the trade that we just showed you on the euro on a 15-minute, and I was looking at a 1 minute to get in. This is very similar, using a monthly and then probably a daily structure break of some description like this. And then we've got a drop base drop supply here. Quite clearly, drop base drop. Once price has taken out the trend line and supply, then we've pretty much got all that area below to go long. So I'll delete that one, which is what price did. Basically like a head and shoulder inverted or double bottom, however you want to look at it. And then price has reacted, but it's pretty much reached that target area. So it's kind of over and done with on that euro CAD. I don't know what else to say, except if that monthly follows the euro and closes higher, then maybe it wants to break higher. But it can start to reverse. It's reached its target. There's no pattern. Euro Aussie. Yeah, this is a peculiar one because of this big wick, but nevertheless, that was the overall higher time frame momentum to the downside. And where is the nearest area of supply? It would have been here. Because we made a lower low. We didn't close below, but we did make a swing low there. Okay, from here to here, up a bit and down. It's more like a weekly, you know, from here you can see these swings. So it's a weekly / monthly break. What was supply becomes demand. So if I remove this, price could still come all the way down here, and the reason why is because I can't really draw a monthly trend line. You can draw a weekly one, but not a monthly one. So I'm expecting some kind of pullback if this is going to continue higher, and do that for me to be able to draw that. And what might even happen before that is it might drop very deeply into, or that level right here. Let's put both levels in. I'm going to talk about pretty much all that area. Could be drilled down to these basing candles, but with that wick and the base, everything was there. I'm going to kind of incorporate all of that. But the price could move very strongly for a double bottom into here, which gives us a better reward to risk ratio. And when that happens, sometimes if I'm not around, I will put a set and forget at the extreme, because I know if it goes below that, I'm not really trading it anyway. It's not doing what I want. So if I can get a low risk there and it just happens to drop in and enter, I will do that. Probably around about 0.2% of my account. But hopefully, price will come into this, what was supply become demand, and react from that area, creating a target area on the solid candle that we've got here. So when it drops into here, all I do is I just drop down to the daily. And as it comes down, order 240 or even a weekly, it depends, could even be a very strong move down, which means we're going to get daily candles, big red daily candles, which will be a 60-minute downtrend. And then a break, and I'll do exactly the same in that area. Stopped out, wait, because really the stop needs to be below here, the cut-off point, and it might come down, redraw trend line, do it again and take it. And that's how I would trade the Euro Aussie. So let's now look at let's go into what you was looking at, Bri. I want to, where's the Discord group? I think that was your chart there, wasn't it, Bri, that I reanalyzed and was showing you something on. Yeah, this is a short. We'll talk about this short before we move into that one, Bri. We'll look at. This is Mananas' gold. So basically, Mananas has caught the gold at the moment and showing me that this would be an ABE zone on the 240 at extremes. Can't really see any fresh and residual levels on the downward impulse, but there is. So what Mananas was looking at was, and this is a 4-hour chart. Now, just so you clearly understand this, Mananas, when the 4-hour is your ABE chart, you're going to use the low time frame for your fresh and original level as well. You can sometimes use higher time frames if this was fresh and original, but the lower time frame will give you an accurate place to put your entry, because what might happen is you find it comes up, and you've got at the extreme of this area barely touches the trend line and drops because it's reacted from a lower time fresh and original level. In this case, it's a 15-minute. So I put on here, what about the 15-minute? Still avoiding lower time frames, but have a look, not much to lean on the 15 either, because this is what you're seeing in this area. My point is you're in the right area in the higher time frame. You need to look at the lower time frame, because if there is a fresh and original level, that's where I'd put my entry. My target, my stop would be above the whole level just in case. But now you know where to work out your reward to risk, or what position size to put in for the 20 pips instead of 10, you know, and so forth, if you're risking 1% or 0.5%. So basically, I redrew your pictures and then showed you what was the fresh and original level. So we'll look at that on the charts, because this might not see, because you said, would you say that was original versus as a result of a previous double top? 240-minute was a double top kind of thing, but not on the 15, which is your lower time frame. So if we look at gold, if I've got gold on this one, in fact, let me just open a different one, different broker. Where have I got gold? Here, I've got gold on this one. So I've got so many brokers and things. I've got different risk managements, trade managements. I always test everything out to see which is better. So let's have a look at gold. We was looking about this. I was talking about getting in. It would have been stopped out. So prices rallied into this big area up here that you're talking about now, that you were still in on a short, because we've closed below here. And now we've got this 240-minute ABE. I'll tell you what, I'm going to clean this up. Template. Let's see if it shows on here. Yeah, here we go. So that's definitely a supply level. Strong move down, took the lows. This is the ABE. So we'll do this together now. So if you're in it, your stop should be above here for safety. If you've taken some position, maybe you've taken some position off here and stop stays here, and then you might want to add again. Depends on trade management. That's going to be in another video. I'm not going to talk about that here. So what is in here, if I look to the left, an ABE, and I find a fresh and original level, I will put a set and forget there. But if it's at the extreme, my stop wants to be above. And in this case, if we drop to the 15, if we do the high of this impulse move and I go to the left, I'm in a clean candle. I'm not talking about this lower one here. I'm talking about this. This has just moved down. We've had a close lower, a close lower. So from this point here, this is the level that was basing where you got the inside closed candle. So I always look at the candles that are open and closes inside another candle. And so once you close outside of it, then you've got clean candles. So now that is the high level, and this is basically the fresh and original. Fresh because we're not being there, but it's definitely an original level. Even after it's been touched, it'll be original, but we only take the first touch. So now think about this. If you took a short here, entry, and stop above at 40 odd pips or 40 odd points, you might miss the trade, because it might come into this, and really your stop has to be 24 above for aggressive stop, but now you're increasing to 55 or so, maybe. You're reducing the reward to risk, but you're not going to have as many stop outs. But it's a very powerful area, so I might want to get in at this line with my stop above here. Or, if you're around Mananas, don't ever set and forget, wait till price rallies into that area. You can see it's grinding slowly. So let's see if we do get some strong impulse move up. And remember, if it's impulse 240-minute candles, it's going to be 15-minute trend to the upside. If it's an impulse 60-minute candle, it's probably going to be 5-minute or even 1 minute. Watch it coming here. Look at the structure that Ever's created into that area. So we've got structure coming up. break of the trend line, and you could just enter then, put your stop above or however you want, or wait for a pullback to get a better entry and then short it. Put a set and forget it, 50%, it doesn't matter. The 1 minute is your signal then. You don't even have to use it as a pullback. Use it as a signal to enter. Remove demand, let supply take control, and enter that bad boy. Don't fuck about. And sometimes you'll lose, you'll have 60. You'll lose in a sense where you're not going to get, you had a 6-to-1 reward to risk, and now it's going to be a 4-to-1. It's better to be safe and sorry. It's better to start that way and build, and then you get to the point where I'm trying to get these 10 pip risks to make 300 or 400 because I'm an aggressive trader, but I will take a lot more losses, as you've seen last week in the Euro, and then I caught one. So it wasn't a great week last week. I was probably down a little bit last week, but it's no problem. When I make 30-to-1 trades, I've got 30 losses I can take, before I make a winner. Not that I want to teach you that way. I'm just showing you that's how it works. So that's that one. Now let's move into Bry's one. Let's have a look. Here's the Discord. Let's come down because I said do some analysis for the weekend. Right. This is what I'm talking about, Bry. Very good. I can clearly understand what you're talking about, and I like this. This I like. You're projecting. Okay, because this is what I'm trying to get people to do, project, because then you understand the timing, and then you can understand what you're expecting to happen on the lower time frames, the type of trading style where it's going to be a breakout, it's going to be momentum, or it's going to be pullback. You've kind of projecting already, so now you know what to look for, and then you can start using the timing. That's why I'm trying to get people to project. So it's the dollar Swiss. Good. I don't know what the POI stands for. You'd have to tell me that. It's a big, and this, when you talk about this Mora Buzzy candle, I don't give a shit about candle names. I know there's dojis and hammers and that. To me, it's a timing thing. I can see what the candle is. It's a rejection wick or not. It's a rejection wick here. I don't want to name this candle, or I don't want to name a engulfing candle. I can just see it. I've got a base, or I've got an impulse, or I've just got a slow move, because that slow move is going to be an impulse on lower time frames. All I want to know is where supply and demand is, where the chart pattern breaks are, and where the high likely chance of price turning. Do I put it as set and forget, or do I wait for confirmation? And then you do the same thing, rinse and repeat, keep it simple, stupid. And I know you've not seen enough videos, so I think you're doing extremely well, absolutely extremely well. But the chart pattern ones, I don't want people to really draw yet until we've gone through that video. And with the double trend lines, don't just accurately draw the trend line. You'll start to see which ones are working, not working, and what's happening, and fake outs. You'll get more of an understanding. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. So, that is Bright Dollar Swiss. So let's just have a look at what you've put on here. Monthly triangle has been taken out. Supply still in control on the monthly. Where is the supply in control? Draw it in. I don't want to see this over here. We don't need to see this. We just need to see most recent. Here's a weekly. Remember, monthly, daily, weekly 240. If you're using 3 time frames, it's fine, but then you need to put in a monthly, weekly, daily, 240, 60, and a 15. Just to really drill it down. So if I'm looking at this weekly up here, I should be drawing in this supply level right here. That's what you should be highlighting, which is going to be this supply, this flag pattern. That's why it was a supply level. And I don't care about retracements, 61, 72. Get rid of that. It means nothing to me. If you start having Fibonacci or retracement, start putting rules to that, you're adding more in, you're not keeping it clean. You don't need it. We want to see pure supply and demand. We want to take it, win or lose. And when we're in it, we want to manage it correctly, and we don't want to keep taking trades just because we've lost. There's got to be logic. I take multiple trades when I lose, but it's not based on emotion. It's based on the next opportunity, and then boom, I catch it. So I might have took 5 losses, and then bang, catch it, and I'm on a 12-to-1 trade. Right, daily confirmation, weekly trend line. Here we have 2 zones. Well, that's going to be above the trend line, isn't it? If you think about it, it's going to be above the trend line. So there's only one zone really. And is it a fresh and original? I can't see on this. You need a 240. So let me do the analysis on the dollar Swiss the way I would do it. Let's see if we can bring up the majors on this one. Let's have a look at the dollar Swiss. Bring that bad boy up, and just want to change this chart to the black. Hopefully that's the right one. I want to see if I can draw levels in on this. Yep, good. Okay, just not going to say that was a level. I just want to make sure I can draw them. Let's start from the top. Monthly. Right, this is what I got. I could zoom all the way back out and see what data I've got, but all I'm interested is what's going on right now. This, to me, I can quite clearly see now, because I was buying back November last year here to come up for target here, and it stopped out. Okay, so that was that. But this is this trend line. We've had a trend line break, drop, base, drop, base, drop. It's momentum. So you've got that right. Let's draw the level in. You see, we just need this bit of information. Let's do the solid bodied candles. We'll see when price comes up. If it rolls over before that and the daily is in a downtrend with the weekly, then I'm going to lean on the daily. You know, but the target cannot be drawn in. That's why it's a momentum, because this candle's still open. Okay, so it's a momentum trade. But once this candle closes, then I can come in and I know I've got a target, which should be around about that area, or at least I know where I might get out of first position and try to manage it for however much I can get. If it's momentum, let's go with the fucking momentum. Momentum is designed for you to go with it and get as much out of it, and then it will just no longer be momentum, just get out. So you manage it. And another little tip, don't add to trades unless you're willing to move your stop. That's a different trade management. So if you're going to do a strategy where you want to add to a position, you need to be able to move your stop to where you're adding, because why would you add to a position in an area where you think you're going to get stopped out? You need to add to a position and let price come to you where you're going to manage your stop on the overall position, so that if you are stopped out and your position is stopped out in profit and you took a little loss where you're adding, then you don't continue trading. It's not the setup you was looking for. So I would do like monthly, and then I normally look at the daily like this, because I know there's the monthly. Where's my daily area of drop, value based drop? The nearest one I've got here, that's fresh, is there. And we've got in here, this is going to be a 240, but there is some level in here, I can see it. But what I want to do is really start to draw the trend line in here. So now this is a daily with a trend line. So if this is my high time frame, I need a fresh and original level in here for set and forget. And let's have a look where that is. We're looking about in the monthly. This daily is within the monthly area. Okay, and we're looking now at that trend line on the daily. And also, looking at the weekly, we've got this, which is momentum, which is why I said price might not get up here before rolling. So I want to look at a couple of things. That weekly momentum trend line. So if price rallies when we open next week, which is going to be over here, I want to see what's in that area. Let me come out to the monthly again. That's it. Now let's go to the daily slowly. And if price does rally up, I also want to have a look at that sort of area where we're going to sort of interact and cross. So we've got a kind of couple of areas really, but that's the general area that I'm going to be looking at on this trend line, and that's going to be on the weekly momentum trend line. So it's an area where price hopefully will turn. So now you can just drop that. Simply from that information, you can wait for price to come up, what structure comes up. It might be on the 240 candles up. It might be 15-minute structure, break. You see the supply level. You can short it or just use this as a signal on a 15-minute and put your stop above the swing high, the highest point. But is there levels in here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So now we've got the weekly trend line, which is here. Yeah. Then we've got the daily one, which is higher. So the daily one is actually higher. So let's have the weekly 240. This is now the 240. And we are looking round about this area to the left. Is there any fresh and original levels? Well, this is definitely one. Just want to highlight this. Very nice. Kind of value-based drop, or even a drop-based drop supply level. And it's in line. Can you see where it's in line on this 240 with the daily, not the weekly? There is a drop base drop, and I don't know. Let's go to the 60. I just want to see what's going on in there. So this is that 240 one, but there's a drop, there's a bit of a base, and look at this. Just look at this for a moment. It's a very nice tight fresh level because we didn't touch it. But if we go to the left and if I enlarge, we go to the left, it's a reaction from all this mess. So there is a base, a drop, base drop, kind of like a level on top of level, but it's a little bit messy. But I wouldn't be surprised if price turns, but that's not clean enough for me to put any stops above. So let's go back to the 240. It's too messy on that. There's too much going on the 60. This is very clean, rally base drop. There is a drop base drop here, but it's underneath. Okay, so there's a few areas where price can turn. This would be my set and forget one, without a shadow of a doubt, based on the daily. So it's a daily area that we're going to, on this trend line, this daily area is where the 240 aligns. So it's like a daily 240. It just means you're going to have a wider stop. Imagine if we put a set and forget at the whole level and stop above, it's about 35 pips. Coming down for some target of 187. So what I would tend to do is I tend to enter about 50% of the move, which you saw me do in the euro. So now I've got it down to 20 to make 200. I've got a 10 to 1 trade. Okay, that's how I tend to put my set and forgets. And if it doesn't make entry and I'm watching it, I might take the, if it misses, for example, up here and it just rolls over on a, might be on a 15, a 5 minute, or whatever that structure is up from this point, then if it rallies strongly into here, that is, because this could be potentially your uptrend line to come back for an ABE to the up. But if this rallies and goes bigger than this move, boom, 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 and that's on a 240 minutes, probably a 5 minute trend on the upside, you know, try a 5 minute structure, a break of that. So you've got the structure break. Now we can use the structure break on higher time frames, on lower time frames. The patterns are the fucking same. It doesn't matter, you know. The difference is whether you want to get a low risk or you're going to take the whole bloody area. So a little set and forget there was something that I would definitely be taking. The only thing again I'm looking at is the timing, because if we rally up to here, where price is down here at the moment, we're going to potentially close with a big wick. So the timing has to be done really early tomorrow. You know, I'm looking at putting a set and forget in on this already, set and forget up here, but I want to wake up tomorrow about 10 o'clock or 9, 10, 11 o'clock here and be in it. I want it to happen in the night. I want it to, the Asians to rally that up and then be in it and start collapsing and then take out this potential trend line if we do rally from here. This isn't drawn in, by the way, yet, chaps. I'm only projecting. And then drop like a ton of bricks. But if it comes in, and hovers around here and it's getting lunchtime and all that, the chances are if it comes in a bit of profit, I'm just going to get out, you know, because it's too risky. And it might collapse, it might, but I want to play it safe, you know. So that's the dollar Swiss. That's how I would do my analysis at the moment. The other thing we can look at is, was there a flag pattern created here? There is a kind of bit of a range bound. This could be a drop base drop. So on the monthly, look at the momentum, drop, base, drop, base, drop. We could hold here and the monthly could close down here. Okay, it could drop tomorrow. It might not rally. It might still be making its move. It's not, this looks ambitious to rally up to here, but I'll put the set and forget there. No problem. Wake up tomorrow, not made entry, cancel it, and then see what's going on down here. Because at this moment on the daily, it looks like this is holding this area, you know, which means it's getting ready to drop. The only thing is it's not very clean. It's just a range-bound market. And you could look at this as a trap. If it, boom, up and down. That's how I'd look at that. Liquidity sweep. There we go, the trap. Strong move up because there's no sellers in here. Hit the sellers, boom, drops. Taking out all stops, by the way. 240. There's nothing to lean on this. See, this is already a range-bound with a slight high. There's nothing for me. I don't want to take out demand and say I'm going to short, because this is where you get caught where there's a potential trap. This could be the trap, by the way. Let's see it now. Up to here, boom, and down. But I'd be watching that. I'm not going to watch it all night, but 1 minute into there, break, enter, stop above. Could be the trap area to short. But this is my set and forget. That's my dollar Swiss analysis. What else can we look at on the majors? The pound. Now let's just go back to this one from the Discord group. If we look at maybe the 60, you see this strong just moved. There's nothing me to draw a decent break on that to be able to put in a really good. The only thing I can do is something like that. Okay, that pivot was a bit of a drop base drop. It's already happened. Then we've made a little high and a low here, and then price has bounced and then closed above. So there is potential for price to still rally from this area. Sorry about this. My laptop sticking there. Oh, I haven't got a. Right, let me do template black and see if that highlights now. There we go. Boom. But it might be this area. This is not really. Yeah, there is a rally, base rally on a 60 in there. But there's nothing. This is just the break of the highs, and I don't like that. I like it to be the break of the trend line. It could work, but I'd rather wait for that lower whole area to be safe if you was going to go long on the pound. So if it comes down here, what's going to happen on a monthly candle? Big fucking wick. So if there's going to be strong reactions tomorrow, this might drop very quickly into this area and bounce. The euro, let's come back to the euro, is already bouncing from the area, and we're at that area of demand. So that might not really take this out. It might just come into it and rally. We've also got a flag style pattern. So the safe bet is really to look for breakouts. And now the market's opened, this video is nearly an hour long, we've potentially got a breakout. This is what's happened. Boom, not closed above yet, but it's like a breakout. It closed above here, and in fact, above all of that, boom, pull back to go long. That's what might be happening. Look at that euro pound, see what's going on. Just want to see where the market's opened up. Yeah, so that euro, that's just why I chose not the pound dollar but the euro. Where is it? That 15-minute, lovely 15-minute level down here. That's why I chose that last week, as opposed to looking at the pound 15-minute. You've got that, like you say, that's just what you're looking at, and it's just a break of the highs. You know, I tend to stay away. That's what everyone's looking at. That's why. That's why I want to draw trend lines accurately. Mine's at the trend lines. Like I said, doesn't always work, but when you catch it, you've got big winners, and you normally get a bounce in these areas anyway, because this is where supply and demand's being taken out and exceeding, and the flip. So it could bounce from there, but I'd rather stick to the lower level on the 60. That's just me. Very quick look at Aussie on the higher time frames. So really, I'm going to be posting. I'm going to be watching this and posting in the Discord group what I'll be doing. I can't see nothing really clean, you know, at this moment. You know, we're reaching these highs here. That was already, it's not been closed above. So this is an ABE, but on a lower time frame, like the daily. There might be something here actually. Right now what I'm going to look at, and this is what I want to look, is what was here onto the left. What is here? Is it fresh and original 60? I always jump down to that appropriate time frame. When I look to the left here, there is actually, if you want to look at it, this is some reaction from in here, but it is really an original level because it was created from nothing. It's from a lower time frame, but you can see it's actually created from nothing. Same as this one. Another nice level here. Original level. Fresh as well. We're not being there. This is not so fresh with this, but this is more of a fresh and original level down there. So if I come out, is it going to show? Let me zoom out. So that's the touch. This is not in the right location. That's all that is. So beautiful level. That's what I'll be looking for if it was here. So it's not there. I'm not going to try and analyze it to make it curve fit. It's just not there. And price has bounced from that original level there, that original wick, because it was created from nothing. Its original area created from nothing. Price is bouncing. Let's have a look if anything's happened from here down to here, and then I'll enlarge that. So that's the structure going down, and the breakage structure. And when I talk about structure, it's supply and demand structure, not just any structure. I'm not talking about support resistance. So we come down, nearest area supply. Supply has been removed, but have we closed above it? That's the question. I mean, it's been removed, but have we committed to removing it? No. These are fake outs then. You know, this is why I wanted to close above it. It no longer becomes it still could be a fake out, but it's not a fake out that happens often. So fake outs, we're bouncing. If we get a close, sorry about that. If we get a close above here, then I want to see what's created the close. So we might end up with this. Let's say price pushes up and closes above like this. Then we've got an ABE. So then I'll be looking if price comes back. This is pissing me off. If price comes back as a projection, what's in that kind of area? Let me move this up. In that area, as this rallies, I will be looking at this structure. Have we got a fresh and original level for an ABE? That'll be my set and forget. If we don't have a fresh and original level, we can watch the ABE to see if price turns. It might fake out and turn, you know, but this is also a flag. So if the angle of the trend line is flag pattern style, so to speak, there's a chance it's going to be a drop, flag, and these are the breakout areas that I like. Okay, when we've not removed a demand, but we're going to break and use the demand as a hurdle, where everyone's buying from it, we're going to be absorbing all their stocks to create the boom, the move that we want for momentum. So this could be a drop base drop, or this could be the little rally base drop. Then I start going back up the time frames and then up. Where could it go to? Well, we're in a level where price could potentially reverse. It's a daily / weekly level here, but the weekly supply is in control. Very tricky, but there is room. I can see that it could potentially rally, and if it breaks, because it's not, this is the supply. Remember, we've not really created weekly demand. If it breaks, we could end up with a nice strong leg down, all the way down to here, maybe a couple of weeks, a whole month. Let's go to the monthly. Look at look. There's the rejection wick of that area. I don't want to be buying into that. So on the lower time frame, I've now decided to use that 60 as a breakout rather than try to buy it. Why do I want to buy here? I'm going to start looking for the ABE and look at it to attack that area for the breakdown. Call it that way, a breakout to the downside. So we call it a breakdown. So that's a setup that I'd be looking at. There's potential to go long, but this break is going against that fucking higher time frame momentum breakout of this area, breakout of that 60 area. And if you look at the monthly, we created a wick. Now we could get, just like the euro and everything else, a strong rally. We could have a strong rally. It could be closing. So what I'd be expecting, this is going to come back, is no pullbacks. I'm not expecting to buy. I'm expecting price to just fucking rally, keep rallying from this area. So I need to close above here, and hopefully when it closes, let me clean this up. Let me clean this up, because this is good, because now we're looking for momentum. So now my projection's different. If I think it's going to continue higher, because we've broken that, and prices rally. This is a base on the 240 or a 60. Let's have a look at a daily, nothing there. So I'm expecting, can't really see it. I'm expecting a strong move up, a base rally on this probably 60-minute time frame, not a 240, a 60-minute, because the monthly is not going to close solid high unless we have momentum. So that's what I'm expecting. So there could be a fake down here or double bottom boom. I'm not saying that can't happen, but it's going to have to happen really quick. So you see this area. First of all, is it a valid level? Have we taken and closed above supply? No. So we need a close above. We need a close above, a pullback, which is going to be too much in that month, end of month candle close. So I'm expecting a strong move right now. So let's go to 15. Let's have a little look. This is what we've got. So my bet would be we're either going to fucking break and push really high, really fast tomorrow and close high, creating that solid green candle, or it's going to just stop me out because I'm going to buy, stop me out, and then continue lower. As simple as that. So this is the breakout. Boom, above here, pull back a little bit and continue. So I can't put a set and forget on anywhere. I've got to watch it during the night. I'm not trading the Asian session, so I'm not going to watch that. Let's have a look at the monthly on the dollar CAD. We have got that flag on the monthly. See, this is a big monthly flag, potentially. Big monthly flag, potentially building here. So this is not the lower time frame, it's a higher time frame. So when we get above this area, there's a lot of static. Hold on. Right, that's better. So once we get above here, this would be on a weekly or daily, possibly breakout and a big move up into these highs again, where the wiki areas are. We're not there yet. We've not even reached the target area. So we could go right the way up into here. If I look at the weekly, we are below this is a chart pattern. Okay, chart pattern. There is a demand level that's been closed below. We've had a supply level here that was also closed above, just above. So we had a demand level there that we closed below. It's a range, it's a chart pattern. They're going to be taken out. So I understand now that's a chart pattern because supply and demand is being taken out all over the place. That's what we've got. We've broken from that chart pattern. So now it's either going to come back up in the next few months and come higher, or we just got a rally, a drop base potential drop on the weekly, which then should produce a drop base drop on the monthly. So next month's candle could be a strong drop candle, but we're going with the momentum at this moment here. Now look at this. We've got let's have a look at this. We can drop into this area and then react. Let's go to the weekly. Not fresh, not original, not fresh either. Let's go to let me have a look at this. Somewhere in that area. I'm going to look on a daily. There's nothing in a 240 now. There's nothing really original that I can see. Can't go any lower. Yeah. It's not going to give me the data feed for that. So yeah, that's why I've got multiple brokers as well. I have to look at other ones sometimes. Yeah, so down here is just a very strong impulse. It's a fresh level, but it's not original. Okay, so there's no set and forget there, which means the chances of price breaking this level, are fair. I wouldn't say they're high. So I'd watch this structure, and if we break that structure and create, so I'm looking at that structure. So if price comes lower and then breaks it and takes out supply and pullbacks to go long, because I've established that we've still got room to move up into this area, and we've got a flag pattern. Okay, so price starts moving back up again. There's a chance of reaching this flag and breaking, or at least reaching that upper level up here. So look at this as a potential fake out or breakout area. And that's all I've got to lean on at the moment. So this could be the break right now. We could drop a bit lower. It could be an ABE to drop. There is a nice fresh and original level here. So the chances are this is going to bounce lower. This would be I'll put my odds on this dropping. See the clean candles and this rally, base, drop, base, rally. This is a daily / 240 level, also known as a trap. So if we look to the extreme, I'll zoom out. There we have it at the moment. I'm going to draw that trend line accurately. Now you understand, Brian, why I draw these trend lines accurately, because I'm looking specifically in these areas. And if you look, we are already starting to break from here. So this is not a set and forget level. It's not in the right location. I want to get rid of this level. It's not in the right location. Yeah, there's nothing. That's it. That's accurately drawn there. So now we're getting ready for the breakout. Okay, this could be a fake out, but I look at this. If we remove this as a hurdle, then boom, close above here, pull back, go long. Okay, breakout trade. The standard trend line breakout trade is get above a level now, like this one, this supply level, pull back and go long. Now, when you've got a flag pattern, it's a little bit different. It's a momentum style breakout trade. Okay, this is not a momentum style breakout trade. So you must remove this supply level. Boom, close above, pull back, off we go. That's all I can see for that for the moment. Dollar yen. Nothing's very clean, chaps. That stands out like the euro did, and like the last few weeks, month has been. Yeah, this is supplies in control. We took out this demand, but the momentum is still up. Okay, it's still to the upside. This is a chart pattern developing, especially if the monthly closes. And look at the weekly. The weekly rally, base rally. I'm really annoyed with this laptop today. It's like when things stick to you. Let's change this. Stick to your fingers and just as when I didn't do a live session, this is really annoying me, the laptop. Not really closed below it yet. Fake out area. Okay. If that's the case, there is a target here. Okay. Let's draw the potential. Let's yeah. So maybe the target is fine. Maybe bring it back down a little bit under that trend line, that pattern. If we do the recent weekly, we've got that. So there is, right in the middle of the chart pattern. This is not a guaranteed chart pattern yet. The momentum, let me remove this, is still up. But remember what I said, the monthly has taken out demand, closed below it. So we're trying to buy against what the monthly may be wanting to do. That's why I started to draw in the chart pattern. That's why I moved my target a bit lower. So if you want to buy it, it's nothing wrong with trying to buy that. This was that big move. Let's see, there's a candle, daily drop. Let's go to 240. There is some structure here on the 240. This is not too bad. Better on probably the 60. Because initially we had that. And not only that, that would be more like a hurdle trend line now. We also then had from there that. So if I now zoom in on that, once we broke this trend line and removed that area of supply, what was supply becomes demand, but what we've got is demand here. That was above it. It didn't actually remove the supply, but was above it. And price took it out. And if we look at the what was below it, then we've got the double bottom area. And that's where price reached. So that's what it reached for, that double bottom. So if you took this level, it is at the flip zone, but it didn't remove the supply. The demand was created afterwards, but it still could have reacted. See from here, the momentum, you would have probably taken some targets off here, moved your stop to break even, or just got stopped out and then took the double bottom. Now what is happening? Price has got very, very, very messy. Very, very messy. If we look at this, we removed the trend line here. This was a definite area that people would have been watching to get in again. There is supply. This whole area pretty much removed it, but that was initially the low, and then we created a pivot low, so I'd have been drawing that and looking at that momentum. So I'd have been looking for some kind of level in here to lean on, and price would have took it out. This is what happened last week when we was trading the euro. It was a very challenging week. So when you're following the rules, they get very confusing. There was a lot of liquidity sweeping going on. There's a lot of orders being taken out big time. All novice traders were shaken out. This means institutions are building something here, because they were shaking out all novice traders. So it looks like that maybe they shook them out and they do want to continue long. But if we look at the monthly candle, if we do continue long, it's going to be a big wick showing that the dollar wants to get stronger, which means the euro is probably going to get weaker. Yeah, that gives you an idea where the market's going. I don't want you to lean on just a hunch, but it does start to show you what you can look for after tomorrow's candle closes, the Monday's candles closes, and see what that monthly is doing. Then we can start to plan the next setups for the next few days. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm not going to talk no more. We've gone through a lot of pairs. It's a fucking long video. I do apologise, but it's getting a little bit more challenging, and I need nice clean setups, and I'll post them in the Discord group as the week goes on. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you got to the end, and safe travels.